Hey guys, Sean here, and in this video, I'm going to go through why I am 80% into gold and only 20% into silver when it comes to my gold and silver precious metals investing, right? So in the first part of this video, I'm going to go through why I am pro gold, and in the second part, I'm going to talk about why I am still into silver. Okay guys, now before you all start to crucify me, you got to know that I invest both into gold as well as silver, right? Just down here, I have 200 ounces of silver right in my hands. And the thing about it is that why do I allocate more of my money into gold than into silver? So when you first get started into gold and silver investing, you might be wondering how much money do I actually put into gold and how much money do I put into silver? And in this video, I'm going to take you through my reasons why I am more heavily invested into gold compared to silver, guys. So let's dive in. Now, the first reason why I invest into gold is because gold is seen as the master monetary metal, right? So for over hundreds and thousands of years, all the time from the ancient Romans all the way to people in India today, gold is seen as a more reliable store of value, right? It has much better branding than silver, and anyone that go around, even on the streets today, they'll recognize gold more as something that's valuable compared to silver. Now, that doesn't mean that silver itself is not really holds a monetary role to play, and silver is not a store of value. It's just that a lot of attention today is given to gold, and because of this amount of attention, we can't really ignore the significance of that. That means gold has a better branding than silver, and when the time comes for people to invest into gold, maybe they are afraid of inflation, maybe hyperinflation takes hold of today's society, the first avenue people will put their money into compared to silver will be gold, and this is something that we can't really ignore. Now, the second reason why I invest into gold is simply because of the perception of gold in the public, right? There's a very good quote from the Game of Thrones that says that power resides where people believe that it resides, right? So over 80 to 90% of gold's demand actually flows into physical investments that people buy in order to hope for price appreciation, and the rest is actually held by central banks, and a great amount of demand is by people such as India or China that actually put their money into gold jewelry, hoping to leave it down for generations to come. So either way, all these three avenues, they are all stores of value, right? Compared to silver, silver's industrial demand is around 60 to 70% of the entire silver supply. So that really means that a majority of the world sees silver as more of an industrial metal compared to something that actually it's more of a money, right? Gold is seen as the world today as more of a money compared to silver. And if you really look at the performance of how gold has been performing compared to silver for over the last 20 years, we can easily see that gold has outperformed silver by 50%. Now, that does not mean that silver will not outperform gold in the future. However, the whole world sees this. Investment funds sees this, hedge fund managers sees this, even people on the streets and this guy over here on YouTube sees this, right? Gold has outperformed silver by over 50%, and that counts for something, right? Which brings me to my third point, right? So central banks are hoarding gold compared to silver, right? I've done a lot of extensive research on this, and I realized that central banks are not really stockpiling silver in any meaningful quantities as well. I'm sure they do have some silver reserves, but most of their money, most of their reserves is being put into gold. As of today, there's over, I think, 35,000 tons of gold being hoarded by central banks, and that really means something, right? As inflation takes hold of this world, as more dollars are being printed, just not you and I are aware of it. The powers that be, even Jerome Powell of the US Fed and all the central banks in the world, including China and Russia, they are all aware of this, and that is why they are stockpiling gold. Now, a lot of us, we are thinking that a currency reset eventually will happen, and if you don't know what a currency reset is, it's just basically all the dollars in the world, they're going to be reset and pegged to a store of value, right? One great store of value that you can go to is gold. So you basically take all the amount of dollars out there, divide them by the amount of gold. If I'm not wrong, you could really revalue gold into anywhere between 5,000 to over $10,000 an ounce. But that's really beside the point. So what I'm trying to say is that if a currency reset happens, where do you think the elites want the new peg to be? Do you think they want the new peg to be silver, which they hold nothing of? Or do you think they want to use gold as the peg in order to revalue the currency, right? Obviously, central banks, they want to revalue the currency into something that they hold, right? So this is where they want to transfer the power from dollars back into gold. And if they are holding gold, this is where the majority of their power will be. At the end of the day, it's all a game of control and power. And if I were the central bank, and if I hold the majority of my reserves into gold, I really don't want to care about silver. I want to use gold as the main backing. Now, the fourth reason, and this reason is going to be something that's quite important that I have to touch on, right? So, in the past, silver was the monetary metal simply because that gold was actually quite too expensive to be used in day-to-day transaction. Right? It doesn't really make sense for you to use an ounce of gold to go buy fish, right? The fishmonger will probably take the fish and slap your face. He won't want to rummage through all his change and gives you small little gold coins, right? And that is why silver actually came into picture, right? In the past, I think the pack of silver was around 15 silver ounces is to 1 gold ounce, right? 15 is to 1, the gold silver ratio. However, things have really changed as time goes by. Other than the industrial demand of silver, we need to understand that the world is moving more towards the digital economy, right? I can't really remember the last time I used cash in any meaningful quantities to pay for things, right? Everything is used by your credit cards. There's weird kinds of things like flash pay. You just need to tap your credit card or something and you can immediately buy yourself a coffee or a bag of rice, right? It's very convenient. And because of that, right, silver is being seen less as a means of currency. And in the past, right, silver gained its power from being something that could be easily transactable and is small enough quantities to be used in everyday situations, right? But things are changing. And this brings me to the next point, right? I want to talk a bit about Bitcoin as well, right? So we all know that Bitcoin is moving up. I think it has just broke $60,000 again, right? The new all-time high. And because of this, right, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, Ethereum, a lot of attention is being focused over there. And there is a possibility that cryptocurrencies, if it survives, chances are it will be seen as more of a medium of exchange and currency, a kind of money that can be transactable compared to silver. And because of that, I prefer to choose more gold because I am banking gold not really as a means of currency but as a stable store of value compared to silver. And reason number 5, guys, and this is just a very practical reason. Gold is just much more convenient to store, right? So you can see this chain and this pendant that I have over here, right? So this is around, if I'm not wrong, 75 or 80 grams of gold or something, right? So you could see that the value of this chain over here is slightly more than the value of 200 ounces of silver, right? And 200 ounces of silver, that's equivalent to around, I think, 6 to 7 kg, which is around anywhere between 15 to 16 pounds, right? Which I think is a very insane amount of weight to stack. So, I mean, if you're investing into silver, right, a great thing is you need to really prepare quite a bit of space for you to store your silver stockpiles compared to gold. And for practicality reasons, right, this is why I really prefer to stack gold. I can easily transport it around. There's less amount of space I need to hold it. And silver, at the end of the day, right, it's very bulky. Just imagine if you want to sell like $50,000 of silver, you probably need to hail a cab, or you need to drive your own car down to the bullion dealer or whoever to sell it off, which is going to be quite a bit of a hassle when the time comes, right? So let's say you want to liquidate, I want to liquidate $50,000 worth of gold. I can just go down and let's say bring along $50,000 worth of gold coins, or maybe 1 kilo bar. Is so much convenient compared to silver. And that's why I really prefer gold, because it's just that much convenient, guys. Now, for the next reason why I'm invested more into gold than silver is simply because the premiums on physical silver is getting ridiculous, right? So this is a very big pet peeve of mine. As you can see, a 1 ounce coin premium can be anywhere between 15 to 20%, which is ridiculous. So let's say you buy $100 worth of physical silver immediately, and I mean immediately. $15 to $20 of it flies to the bullion dealer, it evaporates into air, and you're only left with around $85 or maybe $90 worth of physical silver. And the thing about it is that down the road, we can't really tell how much we can get back when we sell our physical silver out. Maybe we can just only retain the spot price when we get a few percentage points above the spot price when we sell physical silver. And that is why, right, it's going to be quite painful if you put a lot of your money into physical silver compared to gold. So this is a 1 ounce gold bar over here, 1 ounce silver. The premium for this is only around between 4 to 5% compared to physical silver, which is around anywhere from 15 to 20%. And that poses quite a bit of a problem, especially when you want to pour a lot of money into these precious metals. Just think about it, right? If you invest $100,000 into physical gold, around $5,000 or less, right, will be spent on the premium. However, when you are spending $100,000 worth of silver, you will immediately lose around around $15,000 to $20,000 to the premium, and that is quite a big hit that a lot of people don't really realize. And this is something, at my point of time, I don't really want to continue going down this road too much into physical silver. And one of the biggest reasons, one of the biggest pet peeves I have is the big silver physical premium. Now, however, I still hold quite a bit of silver, right? I hold a lot of physical silver, and it's basically for two reasons right now. The first reason is that the world is moving more towards a greener future, and this is something that none of us can deny, right? Every day we see new headlines about Elon Musk and Tesla reaching all new time highs. And just recently, right, we heard that Hertz, the car company, has ordered around 100,000 cars from Tesla. That means that as we move towards more of a solar future, as more electric vehicles are being created, as more solar panels are coming online, and the world is moving more towards green energy, and as Joe Biden is trying to get everyone more towards his Green New Deal, silver is one of the main industrial metals that's necessary to make all these things happen, right? So there will come a point of time where silver itself will really have a sustained rise in its price, right? And because of this, right, we need to really understand that the main driving factor for gold is more inflationary worries and store of value. However, for silver, chances are it's more going to be towards industrial demand, right? After all, 60% of its use is actually into industry itself. And the thing I believe is that silver's growth won't really come from everyday investors such as us buying coins, buying bars. Now, don't get me wrong. Our efforts will really help stabilize the silver price, right? You know, the constant investment demand on silver, it will kind of create a more of a strong floor for the price of silver. But for its really explosive growth, for its rise in price, I'm looking more towards the industrial demand, which I believe eventually, inevitably, it will happen as we move towards a more technologically green future, right? The writing's on the wall, but when it comes to wealth preservation, I still believe in gold. Now, there's another reason why I am still holding physical silver, and the reason being is that I could be wrong, guys. I'm just a guy on YouTube wearing a gold chain. I could really be wrong about how the price of silver will move in the next maybe 5 to 10 years, right? I believe the price of silver will accelerate up, but it could really outperform gold, right? Maybe a lot of gold reserves were suddenly discovered, or maybe the demand for silver when it comes towards a new green future is so unprecedented that the demand just blows the supply out of the water. That is why I am still holding physical silver. I'd rather at the end of the day I be wrong and still profit from silver instead of not even having a position in silver. So how am I going to continue playing this gold and silver investments, right? Now, I invested into stocks as well, and when it comes to my precious metals allocation, I am still going to go forward with 80% in gold, 20% in silver, right? So gold, I'm still going to hold it physically as well, but when it comes to silver, I've already established my silver stack. Now hear me out. If you have not established your silver stack, you might want to consider getting physical silver, but I have already established my silver stack. And for my additional 20%, I'm either gonna get big bars when I can get them at spot price, maybe people selling their distressed silver or the retailers selling their silver at spot prices, I'll be buying that. But for the majority of my silver investment, I'll be putting it into ETFs such as PSLV, right? I don't really want to pay a ridiculous amount of premiums. I just want to pay the minimal amount of expense ratio. I think it's around 0.6% every year, and to me that's a better way to get upside in silver as time goes by. So there you have it, guys. This is why I'm 80% into gold and 20% into silver. Let me know what you think about this video, and if you're personally more invested into gold or you're more invested into silver, whether you believe there's a position for both in your portfolios, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys around.